15 months woo.
Beep boop bop. Hello. Goy, it's been a while since we've been here, ain't it? It has been a while since we've been in the writer's room. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. We did it. Well done. Another SMP tucked under our belt to bring out and parade around. Oh, goodness. Last time we were here, we've done 2 episodes. One that was about outsiders, our own characters, and the other one which was about the finale of Outsiders, I believe. I believe that's what happened. How are you doing? Ladies baby, let's go. We're going to be going live with Appa in just a little bit. We'll just be joining his call. And we'll get started. We've got a lot of things to show you today. We've got to show you behind the scenes of the map. We're going to show you the writing process. We're going to show you the brief, which I think might be the secret sauce. The adds a je ne sais quoi to the Rats SMP. Something that I don't think. Oh, but thank you very much, Galaxy, for the 6 months. Ooh. Also, JD for the 15 months. Yes, yes. The brief is what gives us a cutting edge in this game. Hello, Martin. Perfect timing, mate. My goodness me. I'm just going to send this to Apo. And that should be fine. This is my playlist, by the way, Martin. Let me just quickly send this to you because I said I would. Share, copy link.
Owen, it's my 1 year chatting anniversary.
1
year ago I found Outsiders and now we're here. DD Ty for being such an amazing streamer, man.
Thank you.
OGTV support.
I sent you 2, Upbeat and Sneaky. What was that? Lita here! 1 year chatting. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Has it really been a year? Have fun, Georgie. Bye, Georgie. Where'd you go? Georgie, come back! Really wish I wasn't in the countryside. Oh no, that's fair. Episode 3 already? Well, we've done the other 2. And we're probably going to do just 1 for this. Thank you for the 74 random bits. Let me know when you want to call to undeafen. I'm going to join the Rats SMP. We're going to try and not show anything that we're not meant to in this stream. We're really traversing into unknown territory here, taking a peek behind the curtain. I can't wait to see what you, Apo, and Power Creations come up with next. It's going to be amazing because this SMP was amazing. Thank you. I want to see the brief now. You will, in due time, my friend, in due time. That's not the first thing that we're starting with, to be honest. You're going to be seeing us break the 4th wall into tiny little pieces and then stamp on it. So prepare for that. This isn't going to even be remotely close to a stream in which we don't break the 4th wall. You're going to really get an insight into a lot of stuff here that we really shouldn't be showing you. Doop doop, get rid of this and that and the other. Okay, cool. Dum 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 dum. I'm gonna undeafen. I'm undeafening the VC now. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. We require Tang. Here you go. Boop.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh my god, it's you.
Oh my gosh, it's you.
I
I
hate
told you if you ever showed your face here again.
What were you gonna do?
I was gonna cry.
What?
Do a big
Oh.
cry.
Well, I was gonna punch you. Meanly.
Oops, I accidentally said the message, let me know when you want to undeafen to Martin instead of you. My bad. Oopsie. He's like, I can pretend I made rats if you want. And I was like, no, we're good. So mate, we're here at the end of another. The end of another
one. We've done two.
Another one. Do you want to do another one?
Could it be a space one this time?
I could take it or leave it. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. I'm just on the server now, by the way.
You're on the server right now? Should I get on? I mean, I'm on.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be hopping around.
Are we doing?
Did you? You TP'd me.
Yeah. Or do we hop in the attic or like?
I was.
Where?
Yeah. We're just gonna be a little bit hot. Well, first off, I think it's about time that we set this weather to what it should be. There it is.
Oh shoot! I played the end cinematic again. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to make my chat cry.
So a couple of things that just before we start off that I want to say, oopsie, sorry for, is two things were meant to happen in the finale which I didn't set up correctly. Number one, this guy was meant to come back. My bad. Oops.
The hot dog truck.
The hot dog truck was meant to make a return. And way more than that. Hold on, let me grab this, and I don't know what's in here, but
Are you gonna show my little thing?
I am gonna show the thing. Is this spoilers? No, the finale was meant to have these and it didn't. Appo made a whole horse-drawn cart, and it just didn't spawn in.
This is where like the mother was supposed to leave.
My fault, chat. Entirely my fault.
I mean, there's always some little scuff to it.
Yeah, there's always got to be a bit of a scuff. Should we start by talking about how you like? Oh wait, we should introduce ourselves.
Yeah, wait. Let's go on the horses.
Yeah. Here you go. I can't.
I can't see. I can't see anything.
Hold on. There we go. I'll race into the house.
What? Wait! That's cheating.
No, it's not.
I'm killing my horse. Oh god.
Why are you killing your horse? That's a bad idea.
All right, stop. Are we just gonna carry these into the house? Okay.
I just walk them in
the house, I guess. Horses are no longer in the back.
So yeah, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Yes. Hi, my name is Apokuna. I am a primarily Minecraft streamer, but I do a little bit of variety every once in a while. I started back in December 2020. That magical time where TikTok ruled everything Minecraft. And you know, I said some funny words a couple times, and it got me to Outsiders, and that's where I met Owen.
Yeah, you got put as the oh, hold on, I've made a mistake here. There we go. You were like the first writer on Outsiders.
Yeah.
And then I joined the team, and we just sort of worked together on it. And then it kept going and going. And I don't remember when, but at some point during Outsiders, I think when it was getting close to the end, we were like, what if we just like continued making stuff together after Outsiders is over? And
actually, I think it was like back in like November or whatever where we decided that. Not this November, last November. We were just kind of like, we work well together.
Let me, I'm going to search for a term. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
Huh?
This was 23rd of January, 2022.
Oh, okay.
Almost a year ago. This is from me. These messages from me. You're streaming right now, but if we ever do another SMP, and it goes well, we should start our own team, like with designated builders and artists. We could call it something like, and I agree, this was the worst name I could have come up with at the time. Apples and Oranges Productions was the initial name, because Apple you, Appo, and Orange me, Orange. It's a really bad name for what it's worth. Huh?
It was a name.
It was certainly a name. I think the way you described it was the whitest company name you've ever heard in your life, which I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's we could change that.
It's like okay, it does give me like British mom and pop vibes though. like a mom and pop shop, kind of like if we were selling handbags or something. I think it would work very well, like apples and oranges.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know about Minecraft role plays though. It's just
yeah, but we then, I don't know, went for a couple of names, and eventually Becumon just was like, pow.
No,
like,
we're stealing credit. We're gonna steal
it was definitely
this
us. It was definitely us.
It was never Becumon.
Pow,
Totally
as in Appo. Hold on, Appo. Like that, chat.
Pooin.
Yeah, no. And yeah, I think it's I think it fits. It went well, I think.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I don't know when, it was sometime after I did something called Wildside, which was like a hardcore Origins SMP with Becumon and Eloise and Rice, and we were like different characters or whatever, and I was a rat, and it was so much fun that I was like, what if this was just the whole SMP? And you humored me. I'm gonna look up the first ever time I used the word rat.
You know, as one does, you humor your friends.
Let's talk about the rat SMP idea soon. Is the first time that it came up, and that was in June last year. So this has really been in the works for a while now.
Yeah, since over 6 months.
Yeah, I guess about 7 months now. So after Outsiders ended, we like promised ourselves we wouldn't work on it at all.
Before Outsiders ended, we wouldn't. We promised not to
we
work on
promised
it.
ourselves that before Outsiders ended, we wouldn't we'd do any progress on it. And then Outsiders ended, and we went to Bisect, and we're like, hello, please give us money in order for us to get this idea to work, because we need to pay someone to mod this for us, because we don't know how. And they were like, I bet we'll like sponsor you, we'll power you. And then we went to No Name, we're like, here's some money, please make this thing for us. And they did.
They were very generous.
They were very, very generous. They kept on working on the project long after we ran out of budget, to be honest. And that was very kind of them. So, hold on. I need to have you open. Thank you very much for the sub.
Have me open?
Sorry, just Discord in general.
I see.
So, yes, then we did rats. Should we talk about should we look at the diagram?
Actually, wait. One of my chatters is bringing up something crucial.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
They said, I love how Apple properly introduced himself. No one just didn't. Yeah, you better introduce yourself.
Sorry,
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from?
Cut and Eye Joe.
Cut and Eye Joe. Yeah, where?
Yes, hello, my name is Orange Juice TV. I was doing lore stuff on Minecraft when I got kind of picked up and thrown into Outsiders. The first ever like stream of Outsiders was actually when I was just a cast member. I wasn't involved in the planning of it at all. And I was actually definitely afraid that I was going to do or say something wrong in that first stream, that I would get shouted at by the owners. Turns out that doesn't happen. People don't shout at you if you like break character, but I thought they might. And then I came along and made that my like whole persona is shouting at people if they break character. But yeah, and then I got added to the writers like team with Appo, and we worked on it. And you know, from there we kind of just kept on working with each other. But I do hardcore primarily.
I find. Oh, go on.
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. I find it kind of funny just how we both got added to like the writers' room. Because I was added because I made an SMP application.
Oh, and what, for Outsiders?
No, for I think another SMP at the time.
Oh.
The SMP. Bisimpi.
Oh, great. Uh-huh.
Anyways, so word kind of spread that I was like good at writing or something. Apparently, I don't know why people would think that.
Crazy.
And then I think Bowie and Oweka were just like, "Hey, you want to write for this?" And I was like, "Oh, sure." So I was kind of just tossed into it because of word of mouth, and then I tossed Owen into it because of more word
I
of mouth. Because I
see.
was told like, "Oh, Owen was good in doing like hardcore lore," and I was like, "Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay." He seems like a cool lad.
I guess I'll give this kid a shot.
I guess.
Whatever.
I don't know if he's gonna make it to the big leagues, but sure.
Well, how much hearts does your horse have, by the way?
Like almost 3 full rows.
Yeah, right? Why are these horses so beefy?
I don't know.
That's
I wish I was
wild.
this beefy in rats.
Yeah,
Died
that's
to, like,
crazy.
multiple things then.
So can we show the diagram?
So you really want to show that diagram?
I really want to
huh?
show this diagram.
Are we about to diagram it up? Sure. Let's diagram
Let's
it
start
up.
on quests.
We'll start in quests.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We created a diagram and before we like put any blocks down in Rats SMP because we wanted to understand how things were going to be laid out. So here you go. Boop. Flashbang warning. It's very white.
Yep.
So you got a little color coding thing. And this is every quest. Well, not every quest. This is about 80 quests that we wrote.
This is a lot of the quests. There's so many of them.
Yeah, and a lot of these didn't get used. So like plump new pillows. You'll recognize some like gnomes for the garden, exposed electricity wires. Coffee bean trip never got used. The kids treasure hunt never got used. Cat has stolen the hair clip. Yeah.
Yeah, we used that one.
Yeah, for sure. Bug in the drain.
Bug in the drain.
But initially was meant to be a cameo. If it's got a large border around it, it was meant to be a cameo. You can see it's kind of like color coded, and it's real. It's really badly organized. I'll be honest. We eventually moved to a spreadsheet, I think, which was a lot easier to work with.
Yep.
But yeah, this is where it all kind of started because actually, I don't know if you'll agree with this. The idea that quests could change the world that the rats lived in was quite a last minute addition, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Because No Name were kind of pushing us in a good way / pause to like come up with ways that the world would feel more real. We'll use Notion in the next one, Luan, probably instead of the diagram. Notion is good. Do you know Notion, Apo?
No.
Oh, it's great. I'll have to show you. It's really good. Yeah. Protect the tadpoles, and then sad face, no tadpoles, because this isn't the right version for it. Bats, redstone circuit is working?
This one would have been so cool. Rat on rat violence. What is it? A group of 3 rats or other animals turn up wanting to move in, and the other rats
to move out.
They want the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been cool to have like rat
that was like I was trying to get
something.
like PvP stuff. The silverfish, that was an easy one to do. Mother's lost her ring. We use that one as well.
That was an on running. Screw you, Eloise.
Eloise. So we forget a lot of things because so we have to write the quest. We put the quest in the world. The rats do the quest, and then we have to write like a summarizing quest to be like, oh great, the rats did this, but we just didn't ever like finish the mother has lost her ring quest, so it just sat on the bedside table for the longest time. And then Eloise and Martin made that into the wife having some kind of ongoing relationship with the maid, I think, and not wanting to wear the engagement ring.
And really, it was just kind of hard to manage everything.
Yeah, it was just us dropping the ball on that one. That was our fault.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to longer quests, the things that actually would define the overall story? She was cheating. We just didn't know who with who though. Sure.
I know. Just like in general, we had this idea where the quests would like impact and influence the world around. So like if the rats did a quest a certain way, it would make the characters a little more sympathetic or a little more unsympathetic towards the rats and stuff. And I think that was executed pretty well overall.
Yeah, I like the. I think the world felt alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Were I like, if we were to approach this again, I would ask for the AI to have a dynamic level of aggression that we could change in the config to be like 1 or 5. And if it's 1, then they rarely ever notice the rats unless the rats like hit them. And if it's 5, if the rats even like enter the same room as them, they lock onto them. That would have been really nice. I think we would have seen a lot of aggression from the butler and the gardener and a lot less from the maid and the chef. But, you know, these are things that you live and learn. The scope can only get so wide.
Okay, Rat Season 5.
Season 5, let's go! These are ones that... do you want to explain these? These, like, overarching story?
Yeah, sure. The letters between the mother and father one, because the father was at war and the mother kind of had to, like, do everything at home in a way. She kind of, like, held the house down. We were going to have, like, little
That would be cool,
passionate,
Martin.
like, letters back and forth between the mother and the father, like, expressing their love and, like, for each other and, like, how they missed each other and stuff. Like, over the course of the series. And I don't think we were able to do it much at the start, but it got more and more, um we did it more and more as, like, the SMP went on
Yeah,
forward.
basically.
Yeah.
What else?
The
There
son
was son convinces younger daughter
I
about
don't know if
rats.
we did that one.
We never touched on that. There was a little bit of conversation about like the Izan and Aura talking about the fact that rats were like helping with things.
Yeah.
I don't know what music rivalry is.
Music rivalry.
Why is that here? What is that?
Oh, maybe the daughter's like the oldest sibling is like rebellious and stuff. I think. Or something like that.
Yeah. We were meant to. The oldest daughter from boarding school was meant to be a lot more like against the household.
Yeah.
Hence why we have like the witch daughter here. Her magic aspect. We did actually explore that, right?
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think overall the daughter was a lot more like of a separate entity compared to the rest of the house. Like, I think they definitely seemed like a little more separate compared to like the rest of the family.
Daughter and like here the rivalry, the daughter and mother really kind of button heads. The forbidden love is one that we did get to explore quite deeply, I think, more so towards the end, but there was like small hints at the beginning about the maid being really smitten for the chef.
Yeah, ever since the start, like she would whenever I wrote a quest from the maid's perspective, I would make sure she would like ramble on specifically about the chef. So literally from the first quest, I think it was like oh, I wish Alexandra would help me like clear these cobwebs, but oh, she's so busy doing her amazing work and everything, and like really just like praising her to an abnormal amount to where to the point where it's just like, okay, yeah, no, these people are gay. Yeah. But like,
we really wanted the house to feel like it was lived in, not by the rats, but by the NPCs. And so for that, we had to come up with like motives, backstories for each of the NPCs. Luann Lemontine on Twitter did a lot of the like character building for the NPCs, choosing like nationalities, ethnicities, professions, and like interess.
Should we talk about the nationality list we have real
quick?
The
ethnicity stuff. I think would be good to solidify that.
I can read it out loud if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
It disappeared for a second. Okay. It's Raga family. I think that's the official pronunciation.
Yes,
I know
it's
people
Raga
say
for sure.
Ikraga?
No.
No.
Literally just a Darcy backwards because we were just having a bit of fun. We were just coming out with things.
The Israga family. The grandmother's name is Ramona.
Oh yes, that is the first time that will have ever been said.
Yeah. Which is Spanish, from Spanish descent. The wife's name is, wait, really? We chose this one? Idris, yeah. Which is Arabic.
That's what what's his name? The father says.
Yeah. That's true. Idris. That's from Arabic descent. The father's name Miguel from Spanish descent. The oldest daughter is named Alexandra, or Alex for short, which is kind of like from Spanish descent. The youngest daughter is Aura from Spanish descent, and the youngest boy, Eisen, is from Spanish descent.
Yeah.
I also know the oldest daughter was also planning to like kind of experiment with like her pronouns a bit as well.
Yes, there was room for that. We never got to
Yeah.
really touch on it as much as we would have hoped for.
I did do a couple of quests where the youngest daughter referred to Alex as like they them as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
I think if I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I think Alex's pronouns are like she they probably.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. I know sometimes Alex would refer to themselves as like Alex, kind of like a shortened, kind of like more neutral one, but also like kind of like Alexander at the same time.
There's the staff as well, if you want to go into that.
Staff. Oh yeah, the staff. God, I keep missing it. Okay, the gardener's named Kaman. Cayman.
Yeah, I say Cayman, but it's a kind of annoying because every time I said it, there would always be a stifled giggle from somewhere in the room. So going back, I would have changed the name, but you know, it's there. It's fine.
I of course I don't want to like mispronounce anything.
No, fair.
That's from Thai descent. The cook is Cassandra. Ah, shoot! Why don't we have it here?
I thought it was South African.
Was it South African?
I think
it was
so.
South African. But yeah. The maid's name is Haru, which is from Japanese descent, and the butler is Butler.
Butler, yeah,
Butler descent.
The butler was specifically someone who we didn't like. No name, no like ethnicity or like traceable ethnicity. We purposefully wanted to have him be a bit of an anomaly. Never referred to by name.
He's just a dude. He's just a dude.
He's just a guy.
He's a dude. He's just a guy. He's just a guy, dude. That hates rap.
Yeah. So what? Chat. Explain to me where Papa Caspacito came from, because I'm pretty certain that's one of the no-name developers.
Yeah, it's the builder. I think he was on once or something. And Ollie read it.
Oh my god.
With it, I think.
Because like I remember seeing that name afterwards and being like, wait a second.
Papi Caspacito.
Yeah, Papa Caspacito. Stream 1, Ollie mentioned it.
Yeah. And then Tubbo, on the first time he arrived, called the butler Billingsworth.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Yes.
There's like multiple little nicknames for the butler, but really Butler's just called Butler. We made
Butler.
It a point that every character would also call him Butler.
Yeah. The butler.
Just the butler. Or,
yeah.
Hey Butler.
Hey Butler.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So that was great. And somebody mentioned, I adore the amount of representation, not only queer but also racial representation.
Yeah,
I'm glad we could have explored that.
Yeah, I wish next time if we do NPCs, it would be really nice we basically just ran out of time. It kept being like on our list, and then by the time we got like halfway through the SMP, we just ran out of time to do it for the rest of it, which is why we're doing it now. But like we wanted to commission art for each of the NPCs so that we could like do a secondary cast reveal like we did on the with all of the main cast members, but for the NPCs, and be like, this is Izan, he likes XYZ. I think that would have made the world feel a lot more real to the audience. But you know, you live and learn. Larger budget next time, we'll go for it and give it a go, because then like people can have references in which they can draw from.
Also, shout out to Luann for pushing us with the representation.
Yeah, she really helped bring so much more life into the fake cast, as it were. This like second, because like this is the first ever SMP I've heard of where you've just got like an additional cast of characters who have to have some kind of personality but aren't actually played by anybody. Apart from occasionally the beta testers. For example, Erin at one point became the maid for our beta testers. I've realized we've jumped a large part of our development process, being the brief.
Oh, the brief. You're right.
Do you have that?
I don't have it.
I've sent it to you in the DMs. I'm just gonna scroll through and double check that we're not gonna miss anything. We occasionally people come to us and they're like, hey, do you have any tips on how to do like a new SMP? Thank you for the sub. And we're like, oh yeah, we can like give some advice and some help. And one of the main things I think of that can help people is coming up with a brief. If you can produce a nice looking abbreviated summary of what your SMP is about, that you can send to businesses, developers, and cast members. We make 3 different ones every time. You're on your way to being able to have a project which you can be proud of.
Should we go through each slide?
Yes, let's.
And just kind of show the inspiration of each. I kind of like I like the art a lot and stuff.
Yes. So we commissioned Luan to do the concept art so that people understood like where we were coming from. I'm gonna just set this to like 200. Okay. So this is what we would send when we spoke to a new content creator, of which that was happened a lot because we'd never worked with Martin or Ollie or LD Shadow Lady or any of these people before. We needed a way to like communicate everything to do with the SMP with them without like giving them a big long DM. Let's go to the first one. Boop. 4 to 6 weeks. I can't believe that that's what we envisioned this SMP lasting.
You guys would have hated that.
Try 10 to 12.
Yeah.
It was going to be short because we wanted to like hit the ground running and then immediately move on.
Yep.
And we never anticipated that Rats would be as big as it ended up being.
We also weren't able to gauge exactly how dedicated creators would be. Just to like a longer term project and stuff.
Yeah. We were working with a lot of creators that we had like never spoken or worked with, and we didn't know how busy they were going to be. So we thought, let's keep it short, a month or 2 at most, just so we don't like encroach on people's schedules too much. But now that we've got like a bit of reputation behind us, we can go for like longer SMPs. So expect the next one to be a bit longer. Just a little bit. We can skip this slide. Boop. The overall story.
I don't know. We got to talk about in detail the mountain.
Oh yeah, that mountain is really, really important. Overall story. Do you want to read this?
Yeah, sure. Overall story. Our story takes place within the confines of a large mansion where a colony of rats have just settled into the safe attic. Over the course of correct weeks, we follow the rats on their journey in exploring the mansion, gaining equipment, and learning their way around the new land. Until one day, unexpected threat forces them to gather all of their most prized possessions.
Miscommunication gifted a tier 1 sub to Iris Garota.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, 1 moment.
They have given 2 gift subs.
Thank you very much for the gifted
channel.
sub. Yes, and so you've got like, this was our first ever little bit of concept art that we had about the attic. Lazy looking rat just lying on the cotton bud. And little thimble and stuff. So we knew when we start our projects, we know where they're going to end. We might not know what's in the middle, and we might not know the exact details, which is why we left it vague with an unexpected threat. But we do know that there's
the janitor.
The janitor, who was never a part of the initial story.
No, he was just a random addition add-on character like midway through, which is why we always leave the middle empty, because like improv is what makes streams.
For sure.
We're not too empty. We kind of know like basic beats that we want to do.
Yeah. Let's go on to the gameplay mods. So this is communicating to the creators that we've got. Like, they're gonna be smaller. They can like wall jump. Chisel and bits was like a big part of it. The humans are gonna have AI, and that we kind of introducing them this concept of lives, which was almost benched at one point. This life system. I'm really glad that no one actually ever lost lives. Because it's never my intention, I don't know about you, to make someone lose all 3 of their lives and have to sit out. Because that's not fun.
I don't know, man. Tubbo was almost out.
Yeah.
Tubbo
I wasn't hoping for it. If it happened, it's like, hey, that happens. But it's terrifying implementing it in.
It's definitely like scary to see somebody go on like one life. Because I know like Olive died on the first day, and I was like, "Oh God, are we gonna?" I don't want to say bye to Olive. Olive is so cool and amazing and awesome, and I just met them at TwitchCon at an aquarium, and
because you're missing out. They're missing out on content. You're missing out on like getting to talk to them. I had to calm down the last few weeks. I bet Martin says that he had to like slow his roll a bit because you don't
be more
want to
careful.
die. Yeah, it's terrible to lose that. The cats. This is my least favorite bit of fan art. I'm gonna get rid of my face cam, not because it's like bad. I really like it, but the pure horror of the cat, like it's actually
God.
terrifying. You've got like one that's trapped under its paw. You've got the one that's like tearing as it runs away. Luan made the cat never commission me again. It's scary. It makes you so sad. Just this one little story that's being told in
Luan
this one
horror
image.
art. Let's go.
Yeah, for real. Because you know that like when a cat catches a rat or a mouse, it doesn't just like eat it. It plays with its food. It's terrifying. Yeah, should we talk about the concept of our staff playing the cats?
Yeah, sure. I mean, originally we got beta testers to get on because we wanted to make sure the players had like the best experience possible before launch even happened, you know? So I think at the start of October or a little bit before the start of October, I forgot exactly when, we got a bunch of our mod team and a couple friends to beta test Rats SMP before it was ever announced. And they would go around finding like bugs, exploits, whatever we needed to fix, make sure everything was solidified. But afterwards, whenever we did launch, we brought those people over to the main server to play as cats, which would, you know, maul rats to death and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it was terrifying. We gave them custom tools, which when they would use would take people down like big amounts of health, so they could hit with varying strength. So we gave them one which did like 1 heart of damage, and then we gave them one which gave them 4.5 hearts of damage. And it was terrifying because if you were mean to a cat, they would take you down to like 1 heart real quick. I want to see the beta test attic again. Did you manage to find it? Do you know if there's any photos? I'm gonna look through the issues Discord. Could you scroll up through our beta test server and just see if there's any like photos anyone took of them? Because we don't have the exact server. It got wiped, I believe. I could check if I have any. Yes, Grove, if you wouldn't mind, feel free to send them directly to me, and then I'll send it to Apo.
Yeah, I don't think I have much.
I read this in my stream the other day, but just so everyone's like wondering, like, oh, why did you bother going through the effort of beta testing? That was like a page that we took from MCC because Nox Crew do a load of testing before they release stuff.
Wait, did somebody ask why we were doing beta testing, or was it just like
a while ago? Not in this stream, but in a previous one. And Nox Crew do a lot of testing, and this is the kind of stuff that you would find. I've got a list here. Spawning on the roof, NPCs aren't invulnerable. Wolves weren't spawning. Crops don't grow back when replanted. When riding a pig, you can't be teleported to a cage by an NPC, so it continuously loop catches you. There's a broken farmer's delight advancement. You can morph into other animals when you shouldn't need to. The name tags have a really big glitch. We never actually got rid of that one. We need to increase the AI player sight. NPCs can be trapped in boats. You need to make the string texture invisible. Wolves spawn directly on you when they spawn and kill you immediately. NPCs are too small. Disabling beds needs to happen. NPCs can't chase up and down stairs. So like there's so much. That was just one message.
Yeah.
So we're forever indebted to the beta testers.
Thank you, beta testers.
Thank you, beta testers, because like the first impression for all of these new streamers that we hadn't ever worked with before, if it had been that, it wouldn't have gone well. Would have been sad. We'll come up with how we came up with the events in a little bit. Yeah, if any beta tester has any images of their like house in the beta test server, do let us know. Let's continue with the brief.
Oh, somebody said in my chat, it's fun that the rats have 3 lives because rats have an average of 3 years of life. Was that on purpose? I didn't actually know they had an average of 3 years of life, but like that's an interesting coincidence.
I didn't know that they had 3 years of life until I said in my first lore snippet, I am 2.5 years old, and my chat started being like, he's gonna die soon, and I'm like, oh wait,
no.
what?
Dude, every SMP you're a boomer, I swear.
Yeah.
My God.
Playing boomers is just more fun.
Playing boomers
comes with more wisdom.
So when you get into your 30s, you already know what's up. You're not like new to it.
Yeah. Okay, well. Do you want to read this next one? The slide 7, humans.
Oh wait, we're on slide. Okay, we are.
I'm back on the brief.
But real quick though, I think we wanted 3 lives because that was just kind of like the general Minecraft thing, you know, like kind of like 3 lives. We were thinking about 5 lives as well at one point, but we stuck to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad for, I think, in the end.
I think it worked out well.
Yeah, it was a risk, but we took it.
Mhm.
Uh,
So
humans.
humans. The house is not deserted. Humans walk around doing their daily chores, and if seen, will attempt to catch a rat and place it in a cage. The rat will need to be released in time in order to not lose a life.
No one ever lost a life to a cage, I don't believe, right?
Ollie did, but on purpose, I think.
Oh yeah.
No, we honestly should have shortened the time just a little more.
Yeah, we went from 7 minutes to 6 minutes. Probably should have gone from 6 minutes to 5 minutes in the end.
Yeah, we had this thing where we were going to introduce a cage like about once a week.
Mm-hmm. But we just didn't.
We did to an extent. We had like I think 5 or 6 cages by the end of it.
Yeah.
But we still had more cages to work with. We just never added them.
And something that we didn't do, which I think in hindsight was the better decision, but we could have been way more cutthroat. There were some cages in rooms that if the room was closed on that day, we'll get into how that all worked, they were dead. Like you couldn't get in. There was one in like, for example, the master bedroom. That tunnel didn't always exist into the master bedroom. So if the door to the master bedroom was closed and you got caught and got sent in, it was essentially just a definite kill. So I think it was better not to do that because it feels a little bit cheap, but it definitely would have meant that every time you were close to getting caught, you had to think to yourself, like, am I about to be put into a cage where it's like definite?
Yeah.
We even had a /give up command to that's why /give up existed.
It just apparently /give up didn't work or something.
No, it didn't even work in the end.
No. It broke. Somehow broke.
What's this one? Oh, tools! This was a really fun bit. We got to watch Arietti and just look at how they used tools in the world. So they would like have a thimble as a helmet and a sewing needle as a sword. And they would do like staples in the walls as like little ladders. Mm-hmm. There was so much cool stuff. We're going to do a lot more model stuff, I think is okay to say, in our next SMP.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of really cool things. This also meant that there was like no need to do crafting because you could just find these things.
Mm-hmm.
And we essentially, the concept of pickaxes, axes, and shovels was just like completely mute. It wasn't needed.
We had all these like little equipment things and stuff.
And like the chisel is all you need. You shouldn't really be breaking anything else. Of course, some people still do. Anyone knows?
I am sad though that it took us like a bit to implement these things and they weren't there from the start.
Yeah, we were having some real issues with the entities and the resource pack. So we didn't
launch without it.
And then Martin came along and completely blew the entire concept of modeling out of the water with his block bench skills.
Yep.
With like crowns and ears and all kinds of stuff.
It was really good.
It was really good. Let's see what's next. Rooms. That's pretty self-explanatory. There's different rooms.
There's different rooms.
But
Next page.
We did have to sit down and like think what resources are the rats going to need and where are they going to be in the SMP.
There were like different chests and so on.
Yeah, like metal would be in the boiler room and food would be in the kitchen.
Here, actually, I need to use the restroom. Do you want to talk about like the system you used for like replenishing chests and stuff every single day?
Yeah, I'll show that.
Like a minute.
Okay. So I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit. Don't worry, if you're on Apple stream, I'm not showing it on mine. I'm literally just talking to the camera. Later on, I'm going to show you what essentially became the command center, called the command center, located at coordinate 100, 100, 100, because that was easiest for me to type and far enough away that it wouldn't be noticed. And it essentially was the mind of the SMP and like how everything worked. We're talking loot table systems. We're talking how the doors open and closed. We're talking about like how the doors were on a real life day timer. And No Name basically got me set up with the first few commands, showed me basically like how to do loot tables. And then it just sort of grew from there and I kept adding more and more. In the 2 weeks leading up to TwitchCon San Diego, which is when we announced Rats at SMP, I was flat out coding. Every day was like, okay, what am I needing to do? I need to make sure that every single door in the SMP can be opened and closed via command. and then I need to make a long chain of command blocks that will open and close those doors based off of a predefined schedule. So I had to write a spreadsheet, which was easier for me to be able to like calculate the coordinates, because you're working in 3D space and you're essentially copying and pasting doors that exist in different orientations. All you have like open and closed for each cardinal direction. And then also which way the door should open and close, inwards and outwards. It was wild. I was telling them I was going to show them the command center later.
Nice.
Requirements and rules, basically just allowing us to talk to. I'm on page slide 10. Just letting them know, like, hey, this is the minimum that we would like ask of you. Basically, we have events. And if you could be there for the events, that's great. But otherwise, you don't need to like log on if you aren't able to.
Yeah, like we had to kind of like, I think SMP activity is like a big thing. Just this is for like people who want to start like SMPs and stuff. Like, because we're talking about like into the writer room stuff. It's good to have like some sort of requirement to be active, because you don't want your players obviously to like only get on like once or twice and then kind of just forget that it existed.
Yeah.
And luckily, I think our cast was extremely generous with their time, and
Yes.
and a lot of them were on way more than like the required amount.
I've already said on Twitter that Martin was like, I'll be there for the events, but I'm going to be really busy, so I won't be able to be there for anything else. And then was like the most active, along with Becumon. Becumon was like, I looked at Becumon's Twitch at one point, a couple of weeks in, and there was a moment at one point where it was every VOD from the past 3 weeks had been rats. And it had been like every one of her days. Of course, there were a couple of content creators who unfortunately got a little bit busy because they were like having their house renovated, for example, and so they weren't able to get to a computer. And that's just unfortunate. That's just how life goes. But we're super thankful that they showed up when they could. Lizzie was there for like the beginning and the end, and that's all that we could ask for and more. So we're very thankful for that. And that's the brief. Then we have a little thank you, Lemon Time, by the way, again, for the concept art. Really ties it all together. Just a super quick, straight to the point brief that can tell any content creator what they're getting themselves in for. So if you're looking to create an SMP, I would strongly recommend doing that. It's invaluable.
It depends, kind of, right? Because like our SMPs aren't like normal SMPs for the most part. I feel like we take a lot of time and like effort, like multiple hours a day, trying to like get everything set up to be like really custom and like really like its own world, kind of, you know. Like with most SMPs, it's just like usually like SMPs are just like survival based, kind of like
you log on, you build a house.
But if you are trying to do something more in the range of this, and like try to be like a little more professional with it and like structured and stuff, this is a good way to go. For sure.
I think like you and I have a really good mix of formality. I've come from a lot of jobs before Twitch which were very like all communication has to be formalized and be very cut to the point. And then you are very good at tempering my sentences into more friendly and approachable. Which is needed sometimes, because sometimes I get a little bit too business. But there's a couple of elements that I'm really proud of that we do. The brief is one of them.
Definitely.
In our SMP Discord, I don't really know anybody else who does this. We've got, and we learned this from outsiders, a 1-to-1 channel with every cast member and every cameo in the Discord. So if there's ever a question that someone wants to ask that they feel is like too silly, or they have a problem with like their character or how maybe a little bit of lore went, they don't have to come to Apo or I. They come to us both at the same time, and they don't have to open a DM with us, which clutters our DMs, and we inevitably get like 100 DMs clogging up everything.
And then we accidentally like forget about something. It's like
either one of us can be on
14
and
months
it's super helpful to just be able to be like, oh right, yes, let's look at Martin's 1-to-1 and grab the assets that he put there for us to do with the models. Thank you, Jelvin, for the 14 months.
It's good stuff. As well as we have like a couple general VCs and stuff, which usually, because we have prox chat, we never really used. But it's good to have just in case like people are working on something. As well as channels like if anybody has questions, like general questions, there's
Yep.
a channel for that, or like assets, like promotional material and all that.
Setting
for,
up
like,
mods, like a whole channel
setting up
dedicated to
mods.
that. Quest log and block request were two that we had, which were just like anytime someone completed the quest, they should put that they've completed it so that we know to go do it. And occasionally there was like a certain resource like calcite as a very specific texture. So a couple of people would be like, we need calcite, and we would go and put it in. And then I've got derailed. How did Ollie pitch his romantic lore? Because at first it sounds weird to accept. Do you want to tackle this one?
I think he just kind of blunt forced it down our throats to the point where we're just like, yeah, fair enough.
Like, yeah, he kind of just did it, and we were like, no, the butler doesn't like you. The butler won't ever like you. And then he just kept going and going.
And then eventually we're just kind of like, okay, we can kind of see how this works. Sometimes you just kind of have to be like, no, you won't understand how this works, but trust me, it'll work. And that's what Ollie basically did.
Yeah, much respect to Ollie, because
Much respect.
When he came to us and he was like, I have a whole thing planned. We were basically just able to be like, okay, you do whatever you got to do, and don't, like, if we are busy, we won't be able to help. But if you got to do it, same with Martin. Martin did his own, like, made his own assets, his own cinematics. That's what we need as developers of the SMP. People to just like take their stories and run with it without us getting involved. And it was.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Was it the love potion was one of the initial drafts of why I think you came up with that? Like, maybe the butler could be tricked into drinking a love potion. That's when I was sold on it. I was like, okay, actually, this could really work.
The butler never would do it, like, just
out
of random love or whatever, unless it was like, it just wouldn't happen. But I think the love potion just made it a lot more silly, wacky, and goofy, where Ollie ended up drinking it and having like this whole hallucinative, like, fever dream thing for a second.
I'm on the events page of the diagram, which I'm about to show if you want to hop on that.
Okay. Here, one moment.
Yeah, the love potion that just existed in the older daughter's room. It was just on the loot table.
Yeah, just going back like into the whole thing about like allowing creators to kind of just take creative freedom and stuff. I think that's what we've always tried to like aim to do and stuff. Like even back with Outsiders, like we always wanted creators to just kind of like tell the stories they wanted to tell, because I think just like with any creative passion and stuff, right? When somebody's like over your head too much, it just kind of bogs everything up and you don't really get to do what you want to do. So we have this approach usually where we let creators kind of like take the wheel, and of course like we want to know what they're doing. Like if it's like a overarching thing like that will mess with like the overall story, then of course we want to know, and we might have to retcon a couple things. Like I don't know, if somebody wanted to kill the butler or something, then like obviously no, you're not going to kill the butler. We don't care how good it is. We don't want the butler dead. But if it's something like I want to romance the butler, then
it's like,
okay,
we can maybe work with that.
We can work with that.
I send you some details, by the way, in DMs.
I see. Sounds good.
Cool.
But just in general, like allowing, especially because like our stuff is a little bit more story based compared to the rest of the regular SMPs out there. Usually, we try our best to just let everybody have creative freedom and really be passionate about the stories they want to tell as their characters, whether that's really serious lore like Outsiders or just fun, silly lore like I don't know, Eloise killing Bekiamon during their date and
making
whatever.
a whole thing with careless whispers. Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. Just having that creative freedom is really important.
I'm getting a lot of hold on, let me scroll back up. What's with the angels? Why did the angels move? Whatever happened to the angels? Do they still haunt the house?
What angels?
We didn't. That wasn't us. I know that at one point, like Scott and Martin were moving them around, and we had to be like, okay, stop moving the angels around, and they did. But then apparently they kept moving.
I think it was just like a bug in our game where like, you know how we have like that NPC mod? I think the angels kind of like had the NPC programming and just, I don't know. I think they were just part of like a mod. They were creepy though.
Yeah, weird.
Weird stuff.
Apparently Eloise got like kept getting jump scared by them.
Yeah, no, Eloise just, she's silly like that.
Silly goofy lady.
Silly goofy. Oh my
Okay.
god. Remember? Oh my god. This first thing right here. Oh my god.
That was never.
Oh my god.
So what it was initially going to be. It was initially going to be 3 weeks before TwitchCon, if I remember correctly,
Yep.
and then we were going to take a break over TwitchCon,
Uh-huh.
and then carry on. And at one point, we were just like looking at the mods, and No Name were working flat out as fast as they could, and we just realized like there's no way we can get this done in time.
Yep.
So let's push it back 1 or 2 weeks. And then the cast were like, well, can't we just push it back to after TwitchCon? And we were like, yeah, all right, fine. It was a bit disappointing, but we definitely needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, we've got the blooming 11th of December here as like the final date.
I think
Ridiculous.
we're never ever going to start something before TwitchCon ever again, or
Yeah.
before like a holiday like that.
Yeah, that's really
'cause-
taught us a lesson.
Yeah, I know. Even with Outsiders, we had the Outsiders finale. We had like a month to
Mhm.
prepare for it,
Mm.
but everybody was preparing for TwitchCon Amsterdam because a lot of the Outsiders members went, as
Yeah.
well as like, yeah, I guess just TwitchCon Amsterdam. So like 2 weeks of that, everybody was like in Germany and all that,
Yeah.
which just kind of slowed down progress to a halt for a bit. Luckily, all the creators are really talented. And
We-
speed ran everything afterwards.
We did get Olive during TwitchCon, and I'm glad we did, because
Yeah.
we were unsure whether or not Olive would. I personally hadn't ever spoken to Olive. We were
Yeah.
unsure whether Olive would vibe with the concept. It turns out how wrong we were. It was right up Olive's street. And it wasn't until we met them in person where we kind of like Apo and I took a step to the side during like a day that we were hanging out, and we were just both like, we need to invite them.
Yeah.
This is very clearly obvious.
I know.
mhm.
Just their whole aesthetic and everything. Like we were talking about it kind of like in August. We were like, maybe Olive Sleepy. That could
Mhm.
be a cool pickup. We could maybe get Olive on it.
Mhm.
We both, yeah, again, didn't really know Olive at all, and
Yeah.
we kind of had no way to contact them. It was just kind of like, oh, this person's here in the community.
Mhm,
Hello,
mhm.
you.
And we bumped into them.
But then we bumped into them. It's funny because I actually like got I became surprisingly quick friends with them
Ah,
because they really like just like aquatic life and stuff. They're obsessed with like horseshoe crabs.
mhm,
And during the aquarium, which like there was like 50 creators or something,
mhm.
I met them and we just bonded over like looking at jellyfish and like different little animals or whatever. So we're like aquarium pals. And from that, I was like, we were able to just like kind of like connect with Olive a bunch during
Yeah.
the convention and stuff, and it was just like it was nice.
Yeah,
Olive is
it's
such
ju-
a fucking freaking
Yeah.
amazing. Sorry,
You're good, you're good.
amazing human being. Olive
Yeah,
is
Olive's very
amazing.
lovely. Do you want to talk about? So no one actually. Someone asked, did anyone ever turn down an invite? No one turned down the invite. At one point, someone had to take a step back because
Well-
they were too busy.
I mean, we could do we talk about we had some people that turned down an invite.
Oh, did we? I can't remember. Did I just completely
Kind
forget
of.
that? DM me their
Um,
name. I'm completely forgetting. Am I blanking? Kind
of.
Yeah,
A little.
kind of, because they were too busy.
Should we talk about it?
Nah, we can
Just
leave that one. We
Yeah,
can leave that one.
leave it.
Um,
Yeah.
If anyone ended up becoming like too busy, they would circle back round to be cameos. A lot of the people that we were considering having in the cast, we had them come on as cameos.
I mean, we had one member that didn't end up.
Being in it at
Right.
all. Yeah, so she was basically in the Discord, and eventually she has so many projects going on in her own life that she basically just very respectfully came forwards and was just like, I don't think I'm going to be able to give this the time that it deserves. So, very sorry. And it was totally fine. And that was that was Nikki Niachu, scheduled up to be in it until I think about 2 or 3 weeks before. Would have been
Yep.
lovely. Maybe one day we'll work with her. And
Mewtwo would have been
would have been a really good
awesome
fit.
for us.
One
Yeah.
of the people that we like when we first conceptualized, we were like, oh, this is like right up Nikki's street. Maybe next
but
time,
yeah.
chat.
They were a bit. They were just a bit too busy.
Yeah. I don't know what her role was going to be. It's up to her. It was entirely the creator's decision as to what they would, I was actually meant to be a cartographer shortly before it started, and then I just 180'd and was like, Tinkerer, the gears, why not? And I'm glad I did. There's a lot here which we didn't use. Flood. The whole bottom floor was going to be flooded. And there was going to be some fish which would try and eat the rats. We're going to have a ballroom event. That would have been a big one. Didn't do that one because of the AI,
too
right?
hard to get like so many NPCs on, because then we would have had like to have different NPCs for basically each person. Because we didn't really have a mod. I think like in the future, I know we used a mod on Outsiders where we were able to like create a bunch of NPCs from scratch. So maybe if there is like a version of that, we should probably get that for.
Yeah, I really want to be able to do like mass crowds. Is that why you thought the fish pond would eat you back when the garden opened? Yeah, that was kind of like the narrative. In fact, we had coded some fish to track and attack you if you entered the pond, but in the end they killed you too quickly, so we just got rid of it.
Yeah.
In fact, we did foreshadow a ballroom event at one point. There was a book that was like, we're expecting guests soon for the ballroom, which would have been fun. The idea being is that there was going to be some really good food in the ballroom, and that the rats could like run in between the legs of all the NPCs if they wished to, but it just would not have worked. It would have been chaotic.
Just a bit too much.
But we did try to like format these as one event every week. I think we ended up having it be like one event every 9-10 days.
Yeah.
But we jotted down everything.
Originally, I think the ending was supposed to be Exterminators were called, but we had the janitor kind of like replace that role because he was so similar.
Oh yeah,
like,
Exterminator,
so
pest
loved.
control. Time has come, pest control are here, and it's time to leave. Oh, there was meant to be lingering potion effects, but the command block didn't work as well with that. There was going to be like a bunch of lingering potion particle effects all around the floor, the basement, or not basement, the first floor, the ground floor, this one. But we didn't actually end up rolling with that one. Sun tells rats all characters vacate house are replaced. All people are replaced by pest control people. Yeah, we're going to have like 7 different pest control people running around the house.
Yep. Oh, this thing. We were originally like concepting. I know this.
Yeah.
We were originally concepting Sneeg's thing to just be like, he was looking for his like axolotl from Origins or whatever, and then we had like an axolotl pond, so he'd find like an axolotl named Eddie there, and then he'd go back to Origins that way.
Yeah.
But then he was like, yeah, but my fork is a bit more important, so then we scrapped that. So we just had like him kind of like exploring the house with his fork, which. Oh my god, his fork was...
Yeah, that fork was crazy. Why was the janitor Scottish? Because that's what Declan decided. I have a question. Where did it go? What was it like reaching out to YouTubers to voice act? Very, very simple.
Yeah. I mean, if we didn't know them, we had friends who knew them.
Yeah. For example, Kristen, we didn't know personally, so we asked Scott if he could ask Kristen, and he did. And Kristen was up for it. Thank you very much, Kristen, for helping everything.
Oh my god, everybody did so lovely. It was great.
Yeah, it was super nice working with Jem and Joel and Kristen and that lot. Because it would always be like, we just need one more voice line from them, and then we'd be like a couple of days later, like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if the oldest daughter did this, that, and the other? And so we'd have to go back to Jem and I and be like, just a really small one again, please. Thank you. What have we got here? We got like Crows, Jingle Jam, Bilzo.
Oh my god, just all the cameos were so like fun and amazing to work with.
Yeah, they were great.
Just like Ponks was like so easy to set up, and then like Tommy, I remember he was like messing with all of his like soundboard stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
And all that, and we had like Amesy and Gucky being gay. It's kind of funny how they were like gay rabbits, and now they are.
Now they are what? Foreshadowing, eh?
They're foreshadowing.
Right, oh my god! Foreshadowing the relationship between streamers. And then here we have the 8th of January.
Yeah.
A jot down of everything that happened.
Let me quick read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dad comes home, announced by car pulling up. Dad walks in. Every human is pleased. Dad at some point sees rats. Cue voice line from Dad about how terrible rats are. Dad finishes big rant, walks over the fireplace, takes crossbow off wall, shoots the rat dead. Cue panic and mayhem! A search party goes to look for dad, find him at phone calling somebody.
Whoa.
20 minutes to stew in it. Maybe someone suggests packing up and leaving the house. At some point, janitor voice lines are played through the floorboards, and rats know he's back.
Oh.
Search party goes to find janitor. All of them get caught! Cue rescuing the others. Once rats are rescued, cue janitor throwing lingering potions around the bottom floor of house. Eventually, rats hide in attic again until he comes up into the attic using stairs, flushing them all out. Add command blocks to open attic stairs. Cue getting off onto the Cue getting onto the roof of the house. Have to make a decision as to whether to try to stay in hiding or jump and run. We make the jump and look. Okay.
Yeah, you got to look up to see the janitor standing on the edge of the roof. Grandmother comes out and gives us supplies, but tells us to run before the janitor comes downstairs. Cue cinematic. Can someone animate that, but like really badly, like really choppy animation? That's everything, and that's how we did it with Outsiders as well. It very much was just like.
Except we don't have L's massive dump truck here, unfortunately.
You gotta give
really sad
context
about that. No, I don't think we do. Shout out L and her massive dump truck. Thank you.
Let me look at what's in details. Oh yeah, this was like discussing how the gameplay cycle would work. How do doors work? Speaking of which, let's go look at the command center.
The command center.
This will be the first time anybody has ever seen this outside of the.
Yep.
This is my baby.
You have a child?
I have a child, and it's this.
Why? Was it with a squid?
No, it was with command blocks. Let me break down what we got going on here.
Oh my god, this is so much.
This is every door. So this is every door in its closed, open, and clear state. So like clear would be removing the door, and then you've got closed door and door that's coming like being pulled towards you. Underneath here, you've got all of these different types of doors, all in different like pre-made areas. Then you've got these things here, which dictate what doors are open and closed on each specific day. So if I come in here,
I don't even know where you. There's so many command blocks that you're just like hidden.
Well, can you see me? Oh, let me make myself no longer small. Can you see me? Oh, there I am. Hello.
Oh yeah, you're in your hardcore skin.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, whoopsie. So yeah, each one of these relates to a single like command block or like repeater. One of these gold blocks will get
Owen,
replaced. Thanks,
we
man.
spent way too much time on this.
It was here. Let me put up scoreboard objectives. If you would let me just nerd out for a second, I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I sat with Mark, Mr. Mad Spy, one of the developers of No Name Studios, and he gave me this idea, and I took it and ran with it. It's called RNG, I believe. There it is.
Oh my god.
So that is every.
Oh my god.
Actually, no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. I don't want to do that. I want to do boiler cat death.
That's for all the
fungus, like-
chests.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. That's not what I meant. Time. Okay, this is going to be completely like off. There's no way that this lines up to what day it is, but every 24 ticks is a second. Oh, Mr. Mad Spy is on. Every 24 ticks is a second, and every second obviously then ticks up the minutes counter, and then every minutes counter ticks up the hours and so on and so forth. So the server knew what day it was. Now, if the server ever went down, then it would get out of sync. For example, this is on hour 12 of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What day is it today?
Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday. So it's a couple of days out. But this is what would decide what one of these would be active based on.
You can also just
this
press
over
on
here.
it as well.
Yes, true. You can also just like, hello there, grandmother. Otherwise known as Mr. Mad Spy. Yeah, you can also just like queue up any specific day. So you've got Monday through to Sunday, And then you've got like all of them open, all of them closed if we were doing like tests and stuff like that. So could you press the button, one of the buttons on one of the days, and I'm just going to look at this command center as it flickers across.
Sure. It's Monday, baby.
There. Just then, that was all of the command blocks. All of the gold blocks being replaced depending on which one. Now it's Sunday. Woo!
My gosh.
And then here is where Apple comes in. Do you want to explain the like quest system that we got here?
Oh god. Yeah, sure. So basically, we had to write out each quest, obviously.
Yeah.
Have like all the items that we were going to have for them. So we wanted to have like some sort of sorted system. Eventually we kind of gave up because it was just so much. Too much. But we have all these like dyed signs.
Yeah.
Like red is finished. This green is good to go. On pause. It's like we're not completely finished with it yet. We just kind of paused it. We don't
keep it there for the moment.
Yeah. So that's on pause, neutral, and want to do. And we would just kind of have all of those labeled and organized here to see like what quests we've done and which quests we haven't done and stuff.
Black carpet ones, I believe, are cameos.
Black carpet ones are the cameos, yeah.
Bird's nest and chimney, rat and rat violence.
Well, we didn't do them, unfortunately.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Some of them would be cool.
And then over here, we've got extra notes. So like these are all of the different things resolving the quests. So we could like pluck one of these out here. No more feeding the cats. Hello, children. I've noticed one of the cats is looking a little pudgier than usual. Please avoid feeding them scraps from your plates. Oh, perfect timing. When Scott read this, he thought this meant to feed the cats to make them slow. It meant that the cats were pregnant. But we never actually did the cat pregnancy quest, like the event. We were going to have kittens everywhere, right? Do you remember?
Yeah.
We're going to have like 12 kittens running around the house. But it actually turned out to be really difficult to get 12 beta testers on at the same time. So we just made the cats go crazy stupid sizes, big, small, and duplicate.
Wait, what do we want to talk about how that event just scuffed up completely?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That was funny.
Hi, Scott.
Originally they were supposed to duplicate, but I think something just like went wrong because like it happened the first couple of times, right? But then it wasn't like automatic kind of.
Yeah.
So we basically had to give the beta testers like the command to do it. But besides that, since I wasn't live, I kind of ended up improving it
yeah.
to where instead of them duplicating constantly, which they did at some points, they would also grow and shrink in sizes.
Yeah.
So all of the fake cats would basically have like little magic malfunctions in a way, and they would become 5 times bigger, 5 times smaller, just complete.
You completely saved that event because I couldn't do anything, and you came up with the like on the fly.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened there, and I think the big and small cats kind of got a couple people killed as well, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
There's I think if we were to go back and do that again, I would have just added a command which slowly increased the cat's size over time. Like nothing, you don't notice it at first, and then you leave for 5 minutes and come back and it's like twice the size as it was, and then have the other one shrink to be really small. Should we talk about the pipe system? This was like such a last minute thing because what we started with was, because we can talk about the tunnel system in a little bit. What we started with was stuff like this. And then you came up with the idea of being like, well, what if we could fit inside the pipes? So we created just very simply.
I'll walk through them. You place you.
I'll give you a little course to do. We created these things, which there we go. Hold on, could be placed in any orientation, and they would like be able to be walked through, which made it so much more dynamic when we wanted to add things in the future. Modular design is like my favorite thing in the world. Hold on a minute. There we go. This was when I realized that we were on something really special. When we started making this and we started adding all of these and they weren't crashing the server. That was when I was like, dang, this is great. The only downside is when you break one of them, it like creates a bunch of little pixels, which if you have to render that across a bunch of different POVs, it can get real laggy real quick.
Yeah, but luckily we didn't really have that problem.
Yeah. Poor Mark right there told us quite from the beginning not to go too overboard with chisel and bits. Fixing chiseling bits with a broken RP. Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
there was a lot of breaking. Chiseling bits broke so much stuff. Poor Mark was like, don't use chiseling bits too much, you'll lag the server out. And then we just told the creators not to, but they just created these massive things.
I mean, it turned out fine. Some other server
totally
can handle it for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, there was little bits of lag here and there, but like, it just happens.
Yeah, being inside the bar was like one of the ones. The loot system.
The loot system.
If you've ever seen anything inside of a chest, it's because it exists right here. And if anybody ever said, I would like some calcite, we might put it in one of these loot tables. My loot baby. So for example, each kitchen chest has 6 different iterations that it could be. The special food item in the kitchen chest could have like nicer things. Things like the orange bedroom just has like little bits of tinder and stuff. The playroom has like some special things in it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was I think this really helped the world
We
feel...
still have the mom and dad special chest.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
We decided to loop before we even made the rooms. Oh yeah, that was it. So they created like all of the schematics for the rooms, and then we put signs in there being like wood and stone would be in here. So then we would create chests with a bunch of wood and stone in them. I think the adult mother or master bedroom, super rare. I don't even think this ever got seen, I'll be honest.
Oh, you don't.
I don't know if I'm allowed to look at it.
No, I don't think you are.
I'm gonna look at it.
No, don't.
Anyway, that was in the parents' bedroom. That never, I don't think anyone ever. But look, there's also just paper and gold and squid ink.
Oh my god, they were murder weapons.
So let me talk about this real quick, because this is my child. I spent forever on this, man. I'm gonna bring up the scoreboard. By the way, I would often forget to take off the scoreboard's sidebar display. So Mr. Mad Spy created this little contraption over here. If Owen logs out, turn off the sidebar. So if I leave and then rejoin, it should have turned it off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I forgot so many
great.
times to turn it off. So he made that. So if we do scoreboard objectives, thank you so much, Mark. Sidebar RNG. This is every chest in every room that you're seeing going across your screen right now, and it's being controlled by each of these little guys right here. So the blue coal room would have RNG of up to 100 up to 1,000. And if it hits over 1,000, then it resets back to 0. And the important thing is that these go up in prime numbers. So there shouldn't ever really be a repeating pattern to them. And they're all distinct from each other. That one's not even loading in. So you got 149, 151, 157, so on and so forth. 19. I don't know why that one suddenly went back down. And so it's burring away, and every time it hits over 1,000, it resets. And these guys dictate, depending on what the number is at the exact moment that they're activated. Thank you very much for the raid. What loot gets put in. So if it's between 0 to 500 for the billiards room, then it does chest. Where is it? Billiards. Orange, maid, playroom, cupboard, basement, base washroom, so on and so forth. So the higher the number, the higher chance there was something good in there. And yeah, this meant that if there was a telescope in one room, it didn't mean that there was something really good in another room. Because if we had it set up to 1 ticking timer, it meant that if one chest was rare, all of the chests were rare. So we had to come up with an iterating timer system for every single...
Owen.
Yeah?
We gotta figure out how to automate this just a little
It's
better
done.
for the
I
next
did
one.
it. I've done it. It's here now.
Oh, for the next one, it's gonna be
But
5 times larger.
Yeah, but we can take this and put it into a data pack.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it can all be ran. It just needed to be made once. I just got to go through and copy and paste everything. Hold on, I just got to thank somebody. Thank you, Eloise, for the raid.
Yeah, thank you, person.
Shut up. I have a new system for the next one. Fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Mark. No spoilers, but thank you.
No spoilers.
There we go. So that is the command center. Psych, it isn't, because there's a whole nother one hidden somewhere else.
Okay, Owen.
Follow
okay.
me.
So we're going there.
Ooh, sorry, I've been waiting to gush about this for the past like 3 months.
Yeah, you're right. There's so many. Is this the one under the house?
This is the one under the house. I needed one which wasn't really far away. Scoreboard objectives.
My chat's saying this stuff is terrifying. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm almost done, and then I'll let Apo gush about the story writing. This is the NPC command center. You've got the day-night cycle that exists here. This is what controls the lights going on and off. This over here is the wolf timer. Every time that this would trip, it would detect whether or not anybody was outside the bounds that they should be, and if they were, it would spawn a wolf relatively close to them. Over here, you've got the thing that adds resistance to all of the NPCs so they can't die, as well as we have to admit to them what happens to the NPCs every night.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah. So every time day or night happens, the NPCs, the wolf was the first thing we made, had to do something special for those. Yes, I'll talk about those in a sec. The NPCs would be teleported into this box and then killed, and then new NPCs would be spawned in their starting positions. This meant that if an NPC was ever killed, it didn't matter, because in the next day-night cycle, they would respawn. It also meant that if an NPC got small for some reason, it wouldn't keep them. It would make them big. They were all clones every time. I don't know if anyone's ever seen The Prestige, but you know, you got to wonder whether or not you're the person going inside the tank or the person on the stage. Oh, that just went day-night.
They're never the original things. They're all just clones.
They were always clones.
The original one you saw on day 1 has been dead for the past 3 months, chat. Everything you've ever seen on this SMP is a lie. They're all dead.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm going to try this. Hold on. I'm going to spawn
They're all
something
put
at me.
in a little box.
Look, this is a cat, but cats don't mind players. We had to do this mostly for the chasing tech. Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, we'll show the chasing tech as well. This is a cat that exists in the world, but you might be thinking cats aren't violent towards people. But if I go into survival, you'll see that this cat doesn't like me. What's happening is, and this is Mad Spy's creation, a invisible silverfish is sitting on top of the cat, and every time the silverfish sees me, it's running up and directing the cat as a passenger of the cat to hit me. And then the silverfish hits me, and then the cat gets scared of me and runs away. It's also made so that if either one of them dies, the other one dies. That's how the wolves. Yeah, anytime anyone was like, "Why is there a sound of a spider?" That's what was happening.
It was just a silverfish.
I might lose to this, you know.
Don't.
Okay. Wait, ow. Hey, it's not fair.
Come on, Owen.
No.
Don't lose to it. Don't lose to it, Owen.
It's not fair.
Don't lose to it, Owen. Stop. Why are you losing to a cat? Why are you losing to a little cat, Owen?
You suck. Oh, hey, it's the upstairs bit. So, should we... Let's show them the, NPC system? Oh,
sure.
My whole game has been... As in, their pathfinding thing. Let me TP to you. So, no name.
Pathfinding, we gotta find the blocks, right?
Yep. You just gotta type in path and it comes up. Let's do the butler. So there's 2 different things. You got your butler. You want me to join? It might be easier for the little tech bits if you want. Sure.
I think we're almost done with it, but sure.
Yeah. Or have you? Do you want to explain, Mark? Do you want to explain how the. Oh, whoops. I need to add him.
You do need to do that.
One moment. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hopefully, Apo notices that I'm gone. Is he joining? There we go. Great. Yeah. Do you want to explain these two things?
Yes, so the NPCs are remodeled illagers with a path in finding. And we have these little blocks here called pathfinding blocks. And they have this priority system of finding the next priority block. So he's going to probably try and find the other one now.
Oh, yeah. One way off in the distance.
So they're programs based off of how you place them down, but also how close they are. And when you guys approached us, you wanted them to, look at different things, like look at the kitchen and look at the oven and the fridge and stuff. So they go to one block and then they'll pathfind to the next one and then wait there. The only things that will ever stop them is a rat.
Yeah. A rat will take them off their course.
I can show that real quick.
Oh, yes. Do you want to go ahead and... Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Oh, God.
And so then if you ever got hit by an illager, it would... Oh, you've also got
Oh,
the
God.
cats.
Oh, you guys. Guys, this isn't nice.
There's a
This
lot.
isn't
Let me kill this cat
kind.
real quick.
So they're coded where
Oh,
the
no.
most priority will ever
God.
be a rat.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Today I found out that cats are invulnerable.
They've got extra health, I think.
Yeah. Never mind.
So these NPCs, they will always chase a rat, and we've had to change it quite a lot during before the series and during the series as well, to try and make them hard but not too hard at the same time.
Yes, yeah, and more importantly, they won't chase a player who's just in survival. They'll only chase a rat, like someone who's actually specifically put as a rat.
Yes,
which is nice because it meant that we weren't getting chased all the time.
Yeah, we suspected there was going to be a lot of actors. There's going to be the cats and cameos and stuff. So only people who've particularly turned into a rat, not just a small person, just a rat.
Yeah.
In general.
Can you guess what this is, Apo, over here where I am?
Huh?
This little area that I've tunneled out in the dirt. This little bit that I'm standing next to.
Oh, Christmas presents.
Yeah.
This is the one I hated.
This is every person had their own Christmas present, and these command blocks detected if they were within range of the grandmother, and if they were, it would give them their Christmas present. You can see which ones have been tripped. In fact, which ones were the only ones that didn't get? Tubbo, Shubble, and Lizzie. So just so you know, Tubbo got a loot, Shubble got some pepperoni pizza, and Lizzie got some jelly rolls.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark, for explaining the pathfinding.
No worries. The grandmother has her own pathfinding as well.
Oh yeah. How did that change?
She's passive.
So, the code states that every NPC ever is basically the same person. But the grandmother, she doesn't catch rats.
Puppy.
There's millions of exceptions in every rule for the grandmother.
Oh my gosh,
and
are you
then
serious?
Yeah, and I think we tried to make her sit down at one point, so we had even more exceptions, which meant they didn't have pathfinding at one point, and then we had to add the pathfinding back in.
Oh my gosh! Wow, yeah, I had no idea that was so intricate.
Yeah, like even based off of the catch item as well.
Oh!
Oh, the grandmother died early.
Oh, no. Anyway.
So the grandmother is an exception to lots of different rules, but also to the catch item as well, because she's tied into the catch item.
Yes.
If you catch something, you're technically catching it with the grandmother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she's the only NPC that doesn't catch anything.
Oh,
and you have to catch it based off of something.
Huh. That's
So it's a
crazy. I hadn't
rename-
ever considered that.
Yeah. When we first introduced the janitor, we created the item based off the grandmother, and then we renamed it to janitor, And then once the janitor moved away, and we still might wanted to catch people, I renamed the grandmother to Nobody.
Yes, yeah, of course, because we don't want
To no name.
to no name. And that's how that works, in case anyone's wondering.
All right, buddy, buckaroo, whatever.
What's this? Oh, this is
AIDS room. Still up.
nice.
We also had different other items. We had like the ability to punch people without punching them as well.
Yes, yeah, and the was there any others? Oh no, that was just a pan. You just held a pan. Don't try and catch me. Leave me alone. Leave me be.
Yeah, it wasn't really a pan. It was a skillet.
Oh, it was a skillet. Yeah, that was it. But you used it as a net. Yeah, which is good because that's what we wanted. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Where is it? It must be around here somewhere. I created. Is it this? It is. This is the piano. This detects if you are over a specific coordinate within range of a certain area, and if you are, then it plays a harp note of varying scale depending on which one you're standing on.
Woo.
That's how we got the piano to work. That went for a lot of iterations for me personally because it was
so many little different like things that we really just like took into account of and stuff.
Yeah, like
I was very impressed with the piano.
Thank you. Luann can attest that I was on call for a long time, just whipping my hair out, being like, "It's not working. How do I make this work?" Because at first I had it to be like if you stood on a loom, which is what the piano is made of, but then it was like any loom in the house, which wouldn't really work. So, yes, right, Mark, we'll let you go because we're just going to talk about story writing for the rest of this. But thank you for all the work that you've done.
Woo-woo.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was great fun.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, talk to you tomorrow.
Wait for the future. Yeah, tomorrow. Oh my
Tomorrow.
God.
Ooh, all right. See ya.
Bye.
And let me call Appa real quick. Is he there? There he is.
I keep having my lore keybind or whatever really close to my mouse on my game screen, so I keep playing the end lore cinematic, and my chat's just hating me for it.
They want to see the like roof where there was the command blocks. We never did fix this so that it didn't like send you here when you died.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make it so that when people got onto the SMP for the first ever time, it was as easy as possible. So we have a little bit here about what rat sizes can do what. You have like varying size 0.27 all the way up to my height, which is 0.33. This sets your spawn when you walk through. This is just a little model to see if you're like actually have the resource pack on.
I don't have the resource pack on right now.
And then right here is everybody's starting positions.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about our like first episode and like why we decided to do it, how we did it? I don't know if there's much to share, but you might have better knowledge of that than I do.
So I know back in Outsiders, we went up the elevator in pairs of 2 because we thought it'd just be a bit easier to kind of spread out everything so it didn't get overwhelming at the time. So we thought having a similar system on rats would be a good idea, kind of like everybody being split apart for the first part of it so they can kind of just get enveloped and engrossed into the world before, you know, mayhem and chaos consumes everything with like 10 different people around. So everybody was just kind of like in their own little area, depending on like where. Obviously, where's the toy room? There's like a playroom. Like Jimmy was in the playroom because
why was Jimmy in the playroom? That's interesting.
Toy soldier. Soldier. Yeah. So we just tried having them all in different like areas based on character and stuff. Like I know mine was like a cosplay rat, so I was put in the laundry room with Sniff and Akko.
I was just putting the piano because I like pianos.
Yeah. Storage rooms like Olive and Will, because I think Olive got shipped through a box and stuff. So
yeah, there was someone's asking. It's funny how we started in the kitchen with Lizzie, then I became Chef Rat. That's true. Scott starting in the kitchen was like foreshadowing in a way.
That's true.
Woke up in the kitchen wondering how the heck did they end up here. Yeah, it's someone asked why we put certain content creators together.
Just
wanted it to be fun.
What we thought would work.
Yeah.
Well enough, I guess. I don't know.
Chose people that we think didn't like have any prior experience to working with each other, so an opportunity while also still making them like be friends. So, you know, Lizzie and Scott obviously work very well together. So we put them together. We've also got people like Jimmy and Crow and Eloise. And I don't believe Eloise or Crow had ever worked with Jimmy. Likewise with Olive and Will. Martin and I never worked together. Tubbo and Shubble, I think,
never
have,
worked
but not as
together
much
with
as you would expect.
Smith.
Yeah. To just like what we're trying to do with Power Creations is just like give opportunities for people, content creators, to like work outside of their social circles.
Yeah.
That they might normally find themselves in. And I think we managed to do that really well. We've like when we announced the cast one by one, everyone was like, "This is crazy!" Like I genuinely don't know who to expect next. Oh yeah, Shubble and Tubbo were together because they joined later together.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because like I didn't work with like half the cast ever. Like I mean, I
Same.
spoke to Scott like once or twice, just like through like Owen's chat, and like we played golf together and stuff. You know, I've spoken to Ollie like a little, just through like mutual stuff. But like really, I personally didn't really know anybody here besides like the Outsiders cast and like Will being a friend.
It's really funny being in TwitchCon San Diego and looking around the group that we would be standing amongst and being like, wait, there's like 6 rats here.
Yeah.
And people not like having to like whisper it because it wasn't public and being like, rats, we're rats. Because we were still like announcing people. Yes.
I know someone who was really cool to meet because like I don't know. Just like I never really spoke to Shubble, and I met Shubble at TwitchCon, and Shubble's just like a lovely human being, so that was cool. Just having that opportunity to kind of meet everybody before Rats was like really a thing, and kind of seeing everybody freak out and stuff, and also just like it's funny because like we started just talking about Rats or whatever next to our friends who like didn't even like know what Rats was, because at that point we were just kind of like, yeah, we're kind of announcing it, so like it's fine. I know Red is especially for Dunes loves like analyzing like just projects and stuff and everything. So like he was like he wanted to know like every single little detail about the series and stuff before it was announced.
That was very nice. Mad Spy's right. In Amsterdam, was it Amsterdam? It must have been Amsterdam, Mark.
It was Amsterdam, probably.
Because I don't think you were at TwitchCon San Diego unless I'm mistaken.
No.
You came up to our table while I was having lunch with Bex, Ellen, and Scott, and you were like, "So we're gonna make rats a thing," which is exciting. That was like, now we're here on the other side of it.
Now we're here.
Do you want to do a Q&A? Should we leave this world behind and do a Q&A?
Sure. Should we say goodbye to our homes one last time?
I was gonna say, yeah, I'd quite like to do that. Why don't you go to your home and I'll TP to you. I'd like you to tell me what your plans were if you ever didn't finish any. In your little house, and then I'll do the same for mine.
Hi, Rat Home.
Very cute. I love this.
I kind of finished the exterior design like a couple days before Rats ended. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the exterior, so I ended up just kind of like making. I know Scott had like a little grass lawn, so I was like, oh, I kind of want to have a grass lawn
abolish.
too.
The outside, yeah, I think your outside came together quite last minute. I gotta say, and you're the only person I've seen don't do this. I love the way you do stairs and ladders, like the ability to just go whoop. Like you know exactly what height to make them in order to be able to just go a little bit.
I didn't see anybody else make ladders.
No, it's clever.
I really just like that. It's the only really thing I have besides like maybe some like one staircase or whatever. Anyways, like please, let's go inside the house. Come on.
Yeah, let's go. Very cute. I remember when you first showed me this bookcase and the little ducky. Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Who?
No, neither of us. Not because we're not. Never mind.
No. Stop speaking.
Again. Okay.
No. Anyways, I had like a little duck friend and like a little Among Us dude.
Yeah.
So there's a superhero thing, some plants and stuff. Really nice. I have this leaf. I love this leaf window so much. It's like
it's really clever.
Leaf.
I love the way you've done this staircase as well. It feels like a proper like built into the brick staircase.
Thank you. I really tried going with all that. Down here, I have like a painting that says "Live, Laugh, Love" or whatever.
Classic. Can't
Up here, I kind of wanted to do more with the hallway. I kind of over here, I wanted to like if you come out here, there's like a window, like a actual window, kind of right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to build into that window and kind of have like a little cafe there or something, but I never really finished it.
Here's another little ladder. Your bed. Oh,
Yeah.
I've only just seen the little rat ears on the bed.
Yeah.
That's so stinking cute.
Over here, I have like my little mirror. I was trying to green screen out this mirror part for like a little cinematic.
Oh, that's
I know
so
my
clever.
character. I had like my character kind of like cosplay and stuff and everything, so they
Love
would
this
look into
chair.
this mirror whenever.
The fact that it's
they'd,
all like functional
change
as
costumes
well.
and stuff. Oh yeah. I was gonna like add like a little book here or something. I never really got the chance to, but like, you know, nice chair, gaming chair.
Someone said,
This is where my flea bed was going to be.
We did save a version of the world, and we will give it to the cast
Yeah.
if they want to like walk around their world that they made.
Actually, yeah, this is where my flea bed was.
Where? Oh, I remember the flea bed. Did you pick them all up before you left?
Yeah, I
Nice.
removed the flea bed just in case, and then obviously the janitor came up, so we had to run.
Yeah. I took my gears out of the chest before I left. Speaking
Nice.
of gears, this house initially wasn't where I was going to live. I always thought I was going to live in the rafters before the SMP started. And then it was just a real nuisance to get up there. Felt really disconnected from the rest of the group. In the end, I was like, I'll just do it myself. I'll just
You have like a
make
lantern or something. It's very dark.
Huh?
Here,
Oh, do you have your shader on?
Yeah.
I see.
There we go.
Owen's fear of clock towers, and clocks in general. So he lived inside a broken one, little umbrella stand, little booties, and then a functional like
With the
gear
boots.
system.
The boots are my favorite thing ever.
And then this was his house for the first time for a while. That's the Brighton Pier there. I stole this book design from you, I think. I saw you'd make books, and I was like, that's my idea now.
I stole it from Sniff.
Oh, great. Nothing's ever original. These little staples are straight out of Arietti. These look like staples in the wall. And then we made this, the grand corridor, which led to the like smithing area, which I think is where the first time I really got to show that my character was like tinkery based.
Oh yeah, like, oh, I just gotta think. Think if I put these materials together.
And then take a step back, and
And then
then
Martin's like,
he really just snagged them. Oh, we didn't mention the full damage. We'll mention the full damage in a bit. And then Scott completely blew away anything I ever created by making a thematic garden upon my request. The only input I had for this entire place was the path. The pathing was me. And even then, I think he finished it off. So, yep.
oh, and your little tower over here.
Oh, yeah. The last thing that I made.
I don't think you can get in there.
The little, oh, you got to go this way. The last thing I made when you guys were on one and you were doing some kind of silly scuffed lore.
Messing with you.
Yeah, you really messed with me that day. Just an opportunity to look through the telescope and see. Oh, don't look through it now. There's a sun, and you'll burn your eyes out.
Here, give me a telescope.
Oh, sure. Hold on. Spyglass.
I think you made it specifically so.
Yes, if you stand in the spot and use the spyglass while you're crouched, you can like do it.
Yeah,
There's the sun.
there it is. That's cool.
That's our houses, which we'll say goodbye to in a second. We knew that there was going to be a 3-life system, and we knew that we didn't want rats to die from full damage.
Yep.
So in before Scott's like, it was my idea that rats could just either die from full damage, which I don't know where he gets the idea from, but you know, anyway.
It was from a meeting, I think.
Yeah. The life system was a cast vote too. We eventually left it up to the cast, but it was always initially it going to be in the SMP. Like if you check the brief, it says there's 3 lives in the thing. So we made this. Well, no name did. No matter how far you fall, you always land on half a heart. You can't take lethal damage from full damage. That and full damage is a little bit reduced, which meant that, and that like got. That was a secret for a while, which I actually liked it being a secret because it meant that it was like everything was really suspenseful. And then I think one day someone was just like, you can't die from full damage, and the gig was up. So, you know, I came up with no answer for them. Kept sending you videos. You did keep sending me videos of rats yeeting themselves off buildings, which they can do, but no full damage was going to be there from the beginning.
It's something I think I came up with because I was just like, it's really easy to like
Dive.
get fall damage and die.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Oh, the squeak. that was something that was very last minute. Like
That was
a
last
couple of
minute,
minutes before the first episode, like before the resource pack had to go out for the cast.
basically.
And I couldn't get it to work no matter what I did. So you took it on board and tweaked it and just
yeah, it was
found some
enough.
rats squeaking. And you were like, "Is this good?" I was like, "Send it." That was like my hotel caught fire. Yep, that happened. That did happen, Mark. I'm so sorry. Jumping off high buildings and still having half a heart felt a little sus. The squeak was me. I believe it was Martin, but I may be a mistake. I may be
What?
mistaken. Who came up with the squeak idea
Oh,
when we had
yeah,
our like first
probably.
cast meeting?
I don't know who came up with it. I just know I had to find some off of like YouTube.
Yeah, we just like grabbed it. It was me over Martin. I don't know what you mean. My hotel literally just had a fire alarm go off. Oh dear. So, goodbye, Rats SMP.
Goodbye, Rats SMP. I know somebody in my chat said, now I realize why I was so stressed every time they fell for no reason.
Yes, they would just jump off.
Yep.
As in, if it wasn't either of you, it was me. It was okay. Yeah. So the cast had a lot of input when we did, when we like had our first call, which I'm glad we had. In the end, I was like, I don't think we're gonna be able to get all the creators into a call. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm glad we did, and you pushed for that, and I'm glad that you did, because a lot of things got created for it because of it.
I think it's always really important to have calls with people because like you can only really communicate so much through text, I think. Because like text you can easily like misconstrue things and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So having just like a call, especially because like some people process things better through a call where they can ask questions and everything compared to like reading a brief and then getting on for the first time.
I'm just going into spectator and flying around, getting a big overlook of the house. Really glad that we went with that like bracket shaped manor house in the end, because if it was just a square, I think it would have been really like dull.
Yep.
So really glad that we asked No Name to do that. The builder George really popped off. Here's in between the floorboards. In case you ever want to know what room is above what and where the
God,
where the
this
tunnels
place
are.
is just amazing.
Yeah, you can see like occasionally if there's ever a dark spot in between the blocks. No, all of the tunnels got found, I believe. This one got used the least, I think. The one that went from the kitchen to the library, and then also like spat you out above this thing.
The kitchen to the library was like pretty used overall.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind then. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I just didn't use it much.
POVs.
Different POVs.
That's
I
funny.
really loved
Different POVs,
this.
different, like, perspectives and everything.
Really loved the parkour room that we ended up coming up with. The little parkour route. I literally was just me grabbing some spruce bits and randomly right-clicking with drawn region in various spots to act as planks.
Someone's asking what was our reaction to seeing it built for the first time. I mean, like, it was a process, and every single time we were like baffled, like, oh, this is gonna be just amazing.
Yeah, we would have weekly checkups of No Name, who were all very communicative. I don't know if that's a word. About how things were going and would show us progress that they were making. Overall, just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did the family just have extra space in the walls? Yeah, it's just a cool space.
If you are doing something professionally like this, you always have to communicate with like the people you are working with, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
As much as possible.
Fun fact, the laundry room wasn't actually meant to always be open. This little thing here was meant to go on and off on a regular basis.
Oh, the laundry room door?
Yeah, there's a command for it, which I never set up. And then people seem to really like being able to go to the laundry room, so I just left it open. And I think what else? The basement, as you saw, something I think we do quite well as PAL Creations, this is the same with Outsiders, is that we drip feed content into the server.
Yep.
So we were really specific to people like, don't go in the garden, please, 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 especially the basement. And occasionally they would find themselves there, but for the most part, most creators were able to avoid it. And it meant that when we did go into the garden, it was like a whole new thing. And when the janitor came up from the basement, we wouldn't have been able to do that if we had like seen it from the beginning. That was a great moment.
So much, man.
So much stuff. Here's the oh, I forgot that the office got chewed up by the
because Tub Rat was
hiding in it.
Father's toes.
In case anyone didn't see it from my POV, this is a system in which the door slides open because there wasn't enough space to make it not slide open. Yeah, hold on. Like, it was going to swing open, but the build is too constricted. So, does that instead.
Yeah.
And then this is the study, which we also didn't let anyone ever go into, because we wanted to save it for the great reveal.
Somebody's asking.
Oh, yeah,
I hope it's okay
Q&A.
to ask. I hope it's okay if I ask this, but I'm super curious since there's so much content and so much effort that was put in. But how big of a budget did you have to work with? I don't think we're going to go into specific numbers.
No, we probably wouldn't.
No, we probably wouldn't. But let's just say No Name was very generous with their development, and we should have probably ended up paying them a lot more.
Yeah. They continued working on the project even when our budget ran out, which we'll never stop saying thank you for. And you can, due to how maths works, we can say that it was infinitely more than Outsiders because Outsiders' budget was 0. And anything that happened was done by Apo and myself in Outsiders along with the cast for like creating the mazes and paying for the cinematics and stuff.
For like a year straight.
Yes. So going from that to actually having something to work with, and the scope is just getting bigger and bigger for each SMP. The next one.
Oh, the next one. Oh my. Next one.
I mean, it was No Name themselves that said when we gave them the brief, you are asking us to make a new game, essentially. That line stuck with me because I realized the scope was massive. We were essentially just asking them to make a brand new game inside of Minecraft with its own rules and own systems in place. No tiny
Today we spent my whole life savings on a Minecraft. You're not wrong.
Yeah, like Apo and I paid out of pocket for various parts of the SMP in order to, like, any art stuff that you saw was covered by us. And a part of the development fee was covered by us as well. Why no tiny
So shout out
no
to all the
tiny
people that are buying merch.
This
right
is
now.
a great segue.
This is a great
Before
segue.
we go
Because
into there's 2 days after today to get free shipping worldwide on the Rats SMP at ratsSMP.com. Oh, but Owen, Apo, I've already bought a poster and pin. Buy another one.
Do it again.
Do it again. Why not? Sell it.
Do it again. That's the last time we'll ever be able to get it, basically.
Yep. This is an A3 poster, which, in case you're wondering, is about like this big. Yay big.
Yeah, however that big. Yep.
Yeah, whatever that I just did was. And the pin is about this big. And it's good. Tasty.
And I think we are very like transparent about it. All the proceeds are going into our next SMP. Like just all of that is funding our next thing, and our next thing, I mean, I'd like to say is probably a bit bigger than Rats in terms of scale.
Yep.
So thank you for
everyone who's purchased that. If you're wondering,
Apo,
when is the order going to arrive? Because I booked it, like I ordered it like 3 weeks ago and it still isn't here. We haven't actually started making the products yet. They're only going to be manufactured at the end of the sale time. So I can't.
The FAQ.
Yeah, it is in the FAQ. Please just go there. It's right here. You can see right here. Just this bit
Any
here.
sort of merch updates will probably be on that website as well.
Yes. Please stop sending me emails asking, being angry about where your pin is because I haven't sent it yet.
Because we have specified
right
literally
here.
when the merch launched that it will not be shipped right away because it's a pre-sale.
Parents of your children who watch the Rats SMP, please read this bit.
Please.
I have received about 20 emails being like,
you're not trying to scam your children.
Yes, so there we go.
Running an NFT company. Anyways.
I need to use the loo. Not yet, we're not. What? Sorry. I need to use the loo. Can you do a Q&A while I'm gone?
Yeah, sure. Here, let me pull up both chats. I'll start Q&Aing real quick. Hello, chats. Hello, both of you chats. Let's do some Q&A stuff. I'll read one from Owen's real quick because he's gone, and then I'll read one from mine. Owen's chat, what do you guys have to say? What questions do you guys have to say?
It's time.
Where was Akko's lore tree? It was near the garden. Hi, chat. Hi, both chats. 2 chats. That's a lot of chats. What would have happened if Toby actually built to the trees? He would have gotten mauled by wolves to death. and then he would have been kicked from the SMP because that was probably his last life. That's why we did not want him going there. Will rats be longer or shorter than the next one? Shorter. We mentioned it earlier. We want the next one probably to be a little longer. We'll see. We'll see. What movie was Rats based on, if any? I swear there was one exactly like Rats. I mean, there is a lot of small people, animal movies out there. The main inspiration came from, I think Owen said, just Origins hardcore SMP series. But obviously there's like a bunch of other like movies and stuff as well. What was your favorite event of the SMP? I really liked when I got caught in the van for the janitor when we blew up the furnaces and stuff, because that really reminded me of a classic Outsiders event, and personally I do like doing lore and stuff. So when we were able to like kind of like go back to our roots there and kind of have like a little more scripted event with still like improv elements, that was like really fun. That was my favorite events. That felt like Outsiders for sure. That event? Yeah. Was the event supposed to be driven off?
No, it was supposed to just kind of like, appear there. Who voiced the squid? Declan, who also voiced the janitor. Shout out Declan.
Yo.
Hi, Owen.
Hi, Apokuna.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What would you say the most interesting change or unexpected development from developing that game? Just kind of like we didn't realize. I think I don't know if you agree with me. We probably didn't realize just how much like work had to be put into quests until we were actually like doing that.
Yeah. Writing quests and implementing them. We're never doing that by ourselves again. Not without like an automated system. It's our dream to be able to have like plug and play systems that we can take from SMP to SMP, like creating a loot box data pack that we can just plug in, give the names of things, specify the probability, and it just like do it for us. So map download, probably not for a while, if there ever will be one.
Maybe
we
we'll
might
set up a
release it as like a GoFundMe or a Patreon or something in the future, but for the time being, not right now.
Yeah. Someone asked, what is your favorite part of writing lore/stories? I think, like personally for me, I really like taking themes that can be like described from like real life events and stuff, or just themes in general kind of, and like putting them into our stories. Like with Rats and with Outsiders, we had like themes within our characters and stuff that we wanted to explore. Like some were like acceptance or like grief or like accepting like all kinds of people or like whatever, right? Or like talking about like a dystopian future where I won't spoil the ending of Outsiders.
Yeah, like my favorite part I think is joining together, looking at thematic obstacles and being like, okay, you've got rats that enter a house and rats that leave the house. How do you bring those two milestones, those key points in the story, and link them together
how do you make
in a way that feels organic? Yeah, because for this next SMP, which I won't go into, you and I have been talking about some backstory, some lore, some world building, and it's like, okay, what about this? And then we have to go, oh, but why would this character do this? Like, why would this happen in the world? And those are my favorite bits, like problem solving and being like, oh, their motive could be this, that, and the other. And
I'm so excited for the next.
It's really cool. I'm really. Are all your SMPs in the same universe? That's a really good question, and I can't believe like. Okay. For the longest time, Rats was set in the same cinematic universe as Outsiders, and the war that the father was on was the Human Demon War, and then my friends just convinced me out of it because you were like, whatever, like if you want that to be the case, and it can be the case.
Yeah.
And then my friends over the course that aren't in the SMP were just like, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. That's dumb. Why would that be the case? Why do we not see anything to do with species? What time frame are we in? Why have we not heard of demons? And I just realized, yeah, it's too self-indulgent.
It would just make it too like complicated and convoluted in a way.
Yeah, too many plot points.
Like
plot
we could
holes.
have done it successfully, but like we also started like introducing magic and stuff.
Yeah,
In the Rats SMP world, where
Yeah.
in Outsiders there wasn't
Didn't
like there was like
really-
small like uncanonical things where like there was like little fairies that Gracie and Akko followed and stuff, or like
the great thing about Outsiders is that anything that was untoward could be explained with technology.
yeah,
Like those could be the fairies could have been little flying drones cameras.
Yep, exactly.
Very easy to be like, the limitations of the world is technology, but the moment where you started getting into witches being able to transform rats into cats and vice versa, and world hopping, it would have shattered this really precise world that we had developed for Outsiders and protected for a year. Just would have all gone in the bin.
Yeah. I think another funny question that everybody's asking right now is what time frame was Rats in?
Yeah.
Or just in general. We on purpose don't have a time frame because it's supposed to feel just kind of like whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely elements in Rats would probably set it in like in the mid 1900s.
Yeah, I would say like this telephone was created in 1876. So anywhere between that through to the first ever like proper car, because people are still mainly using horse-drawn carriages. But do the like cars still exist? And you saw that like old timey-wimey camera.
Like
but we purposefully don't box ourselves in because it's a Minecraft roleplay server.
it's not supposed to be set in the real world. Like it's its own universe, you know?
Mm-hmm. Which
Like-
is also why it didn't work with Outsiders, because Outsiders was crazy future tech.
Mhm.
Like it couldn't be in the same thematic universe as Outsiders, because even though there was some medieval stuff in Outsiders, it was from civilizations which weren't as developed. So this one would have just like thrown a spanner in the work.
Yeah. Like with Outsiders, it's clearly futuristic, but it has those medieval elements just because it's a completely different universe from our own. We're developed differently, where there still is those medieval aspects in culture and stuff.
Yeah.
But like something like this, like, why do you need a time frame? Just like, no. Like we could have given it one, but we're just not because we don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Easily, we could have given it one.
Did you have a favorite rat design? Like whose skin was your favorite?
Olive.
Olive was really good.
That's my favorite.
I really liked. It's funny because Becumon's is so simple.
Oh my
Literally just a
God,
pair of
Bex.
shorts.
The amount of times we tried yelling at her to put on a shirt,
Mm-hmm.
or like, why do you not? Why are you shirtless?
We were really actually against, not in like a serious way.
In like a joking kind of way. Like,
We were like, are you sure you want to play a character who canonically doesn't have a shirt on? And she was like, guys, they're rats. They shouldn't have clothes anyway. And I thought it was going to be like the audience would make it inappropriate, but fair play to you guys, you didn't. There were no weird comments. And it just worked. It also gave like Becumon's character very quickly became this like flag, this like hallmark of gender. We never really like specified Becumon as being, they gave off big masculine energy is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
But they would also be like a pretty rat. So they could do both. And
Beck's character was just gender, man.
yeah, just gender in incarnate. It was very impressive. Becumon really hit the money on the head. I remember Becumon being like, I can't believe I put so much thought into the costume of Becumon in Outsiders, only for a rat to be like the most beloved character.
That's the funny part.
Yeah.
Just like a simple rat, no shirt, just
a rat
chilling.
with bandages on its
Oscar
arm.
rat.
Simple enough to cosplay, which she did and smashed it. It was great.
Yeah. Somebody asked, are other rats sentient in the world? Why are the humans so surprised? It's kind of like the Toy Story effect, you know?
Mhm.
Like that trope where it's like they're all alive, but they only choose to be like alive to people if they really want to.
Mhm. It's like
Otherwise, they're just going
Ratatouille.
to be. Yeah, exactly.
Well, whose lore was the most complicated?
Oh.
Complicated, I don't think is the right word. That's a bit /neg. But I think Martin's was the most like in depth. Martin's
like-
lore being that we're all NPCs in his world.
Yeah.
He's the main
I
character.
know
We're just living
some
in it.
people focused more on like serious lore compared to others and stuff.
Mhm.
I know like you had some stuff, especially at the end.
Yeah.
Akko and I kind of delved into it a lot.
Mhm.
And then Martin as well.
Super pleased that Martin had like a platform. We were able to supply him with a platform in which he could develop that story. Because I've seen it every now and again, and I think this is the first time that we've seen something that we can really sink our teeth into regarding his story.
Ew.
Any other questions from your chat?
Chad, do you guys have questions? What questions?
Whoa. How big was the custom map? Was it just an expanding forest? It just ended at a certain point, yeah.
It ended at a certain point, but it was pretty big, especially if
yeah.
we were just rats. It'd probably take like 20 minutes to get to like another side. Yeah. Will you be recruiting volunteers for help on the next project? I mean, we do have that like we did start that initiative where like we have like the
we have almost every other creative person on Twitter in a spreadsheet.
We do plan on looking at that eventually. It's just like during an SMP project, obviously we're not like looking for too much more help because we already have everything set in stone.
Yeah.
So we might ask for volunteers, but usually we try to get volunteers that like we know we can like for stuff like beta testing, unless like we put you under like an NDA or something. We usually try to go for like mods that we already know.
Yeah.
How do you find background music for your lore streams?
Epidemic Sound.
Or like
or just
Spotify
use
trends
Spotify trend.
Or just like if you're really inspired by like a certain show's like theme or something.
Yes.
I found like a couple piano themes that were really cute.
The Theory of Everything, Cambridge 1963 is the song that we used for the trailer and was the perfect fit. However, obviously very DMCA-able.
Yeah. I got couple other questions.
So
I'm
saving mine as I see them go, so I got a couple as well. Okay. Go ahead.
So can PAL Creations help other SMPs by providing them with connections? That is the plan.
That's what we want to get to.
Yeah, so obviously it's you got to create something special, you know. I think there's a difference between like just starting up a vanilla survival SMP or whatever and just inviting a couple friends and asking us for help, because then like we can just give you basic advice on stream, right?
Yep.
But then stuff like this where you're trying to create like an intricate world or like really like have something structured, like if you really need that help and like you're really sure you're going to do it and you're like creating content on a regular basis, like we want to help those people try to like really get something going, you know?
Yeah, like I think it's one of those things where it's really tricky for us to develop and run an SMP at the same time as being a consultancy company. So we will get to it, but we're gonna like show what we can do first, and then we'll probably open applications. In the meantime, you guys should be creating stuff that when we go, who's got any cool ideas, you can then be like, I have this idea, I don't know where to go with it, I don't know where to get funding for it. I really want to be like the sole writer on it, but I need some guidance. Also, here's 3 SMPs that I ran while you were doing your stuff, which whether they did well or not doesn't matter. It's how you held them and like whether you were pleased with them and the creative vision of it afterwards.
Just be good creators, man.
Yeah,
basically.
If you're like, passionate about what you make and you've done projects before, then we'll be happy to work with you. We can, and the important thing is that we're just there as like to point you in the direction. You're the one that's got to get the cast together, write the scripts, like do the lore. We won't actually get in and build anything for you, but we will be there to kind of give you a vision whenever you hit a roadblock.
Yeah, like obviously we're not going to be there like every single step because we've got stuff to do, but we are there to consult and try to help as much as possible, because we want to not only see us succeed, we want to see other people succeed, because I think the more people doing creative, amazing stuff in the community, the better, because that's just how everybody benefits. Like if you want to see like Minecraft resurgences and stuff and all that, just like or like a game resurgence in general, like you do that by helping other content creators and just having a bunch of good content be out there.
Yeah, there's no point gatekeeping this stuff if
There's no point gatekeeping.
if we want to see this continue.
Like,
I got
it's
one
just
here.
fun. Okay, what's up? What's
Is
up?
the next SMP going to be more lore-based or silly fun stuff like rats, if we are allowed to know? A
Are they
mid.
allowed to know?
Yeah, like a little more than rats, I think, was what we were gonna.
Yeah.
Was what I've been saying. I don't know if I was allowed to. More than rats, less than outsiders.
We always want to keep that lighthearted element in our SMPs, obviously, where like people can get on any day they want and really just kind of exist in the world, you know, and like hang out with friends and all that. Like we want that to always be a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just how we make content and stuff.
Yeah.
But there'll definitely be a little more story, like maybe a mystery, compared to rats.
Yeah, a little bit more.
outside
I think mystery is the right word for it.
mystery.
Also, Gemini Tay voiced the oldest daughter.
Yeah. Oh, I can't say anything, but I'm very excited for the next SMP story.
Yes,
and
Legs
we're gonna talk
SMP.
about it soon.
Yes.
Legs SMP, where everybody's a leg.
Everyone's a leg.
Leg.
When did you first get the idea for Rats SMP? That was when I was a rat in an Origins project, and then I was like, "This is so much fun! I want to bring Apo. I want to get Apo on board with this idea." Because originally we were going to do something else, which was going to be quite dark.
Lots of ideas.
Yeah, I think the working one that we had been going on with in the lead up to Outsiders Endings was a little more angsty.
Yep.
Which is now actually on the back burner way down the line.
Well, it was
Hmm?
probably same level as level of
Yeah.
angst as Outsiders, maybe a little less.
Yeah, I was cushioning it, but it was pretty much on par with.
Wait, which one was it? Text me.
Yeah. Hold on.
Maybe we're talking about different projects. Oh.
What did you think was the
yeah.
next one?
Oh no, I was thinking about that one, but with
Oh, careful. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Sorry, we're just being
that
so
one
vague.
still is like some potential, but we're not really we haven't thought about it really
Yeah,
since we talked
we
about
got
it
other
a while
stuff on the
ago.
pipeline.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have any other questions, but I'm just going through the ones that I've seen, I've saved. Single event stuff, question mark?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. But I'll never tell.
cool. You'll never tell. But I will. 500 events this year. 500
events minimum, or we quit Twitch.
Don't.
Sorry.
You quit Twitch.
Oh yeah, I quit Twitch if we do less than 500 events over the next 12 calendar months.
Yeah. What other questions? Is it the sort of SMP that can allow for theorizing? Any of our SMPs can allow for theorizing.
Mm-hmm. But the Legs SMP, there's one coming up. A little more than normal, I'd say.
A little more than
a little smidge more. There's a little mystery in there.
You know, there's like a little mystery.
There's a little background noise that you can tune into if you wish to.
Yeah. I want to see people use that hashtag all the time. I want to see all the theorizing.
That was it. That was the thing about Outsiders. You could literally just like go onto the Outsiders twit and be like, what is someone cooked up today?
Oweka's a zombie? Oh my god.
Oh, sure, why not?
Sure.
How long do we have to wait for the next SMP? Don't know.
I mean, just like development time from, I guess like we can estimate it, right?
Yeah, Mark, why haven't you done it yet?
Yeah, why isn't it not done yet?
I want beta
like,
testing right now.
Oh my god, no. Like with Rats, right? We started working on it late July, right?
Yeah, I'm joking,
and
Mark.
We went live mid-October, so that was August, about like 3.5 months, let's say.
Yeah.
Say like 3.5 for the development of that SMP. I expect it to take a little longer.
Yeah.
We're not going to give an exact time, but that's an estimation from what our last thing took for development.
So maybe, but it's a bigger project.
It is a bigger project. It is.
Okay, I think that wraps us up.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Whew.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us. My God.
Yeah, it's been wild.
I do want to say one last thing, I guess.
Mhm.
I think I'm very happy that we're fortunate to be able to do this because like the way we work on SMPs is very time consuming and there's like a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I know you guys are like viewers, so you don't really get to see like all of this stuff usually, so I'm really glad we're able to do these kind of streams and show you like what really goes on and like just everything, all the like coding, all of the like story elements, just like you can really see like how much time and effort and really I feel like how passionate we are to just create really cool things for both you and content creators to just enjoy. So I'm hoping we can do more of that in the future. I know we can
More.
do that.
More.
I know we
I
can do more of
crave
that.
more.
I do too, and it's gonna be really
Um,
good. The future's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We have a call scheduled of No Name to have a little look at some concepts
Tomorrow, yeah.
tomorrow. So things, we're not taking a break, chat. We took that was
we're
it.
not.
Our break was yesterday, the 9th. Now it's
Yeah.
back to work.
No, our break was not yesterday.
No? Oh, we're
Our
not
break
even
was
then.
our break was the day of
Rat's ending.
the end, where we just kind of chilled all night. But we even still talked about stuff then.
Talk about the next project in
But
calls.
it's less so because like we were forced to. It's more so that we're just
We
excited.
want
and
to.
just,
We
like,
want
doing
to.
stuff.
Yeah. This
Fun
is the
to
fun
work
bit.
with.
Like all of it's fun, but this is the best bit.
It's the best bit. When
The
we're
best bit
creating.
is like sitting down and being like boundless imagination. Forget about money, forget about time or constraints to the Minecraft world. If you could make anything, what would you make? And that's what we're sitting down and doing this month.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Oh, it's super cool. It's super cool. Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right.
wrap up.
I'm gonna
I'll see you
wrap up
later,
too.
King.
See you. See ya.
See ya. Thanks.
Yes.
Anything, chat. That's what I want you to ask yourself. If you could make anything in Minecraft, what would you do? If you could tell any story, don't be like, oh, these things cost money. Or, oh, I have to learn to code. I don't know how to do asset modeling. You can learn. I believe in you. Tell cool stories. Owen is an ex-SMP, leg SMP. That's just what we're calling it. Leg SMP. Okay, let's see who we can raid into today. Oh wait, no, we're not raiding into anybody. Psych. We're doing a Rats SMP video, which is coming out in 10 minutes. Thank you for the 3 months.
I'm so excited for the next SMP and I'm so proud of you and Apo.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Awesome. The second to last the second to last Rats SMP video is coming out at this link. Hold on. We can raid in someone who's offline to get points. Okay. That got intense. I guess I can play from my Eek playlist, seeing as I know that this isn't gonna... Fungus art is beautiful for real. Thank you, Levy. You also did all of our... That song was called Remembrance. The thumbnail is great. Levy popped off at the thumbnail. The Eek playlists, I can just chuck it here. Why not? This is what I listened to on repeat before the launch of the Rats SMP. There you go. Boop. Please give a lot of love to the series if you haven't already. You can watch it all if you like. Right from the beginning. Why not? Treat yourself. Tag you in fan art? You can tag me in fan art, that's fine. Why does it say it's premiering in 37 minutes? That is absolutely not what it should be premiering as. It should be premiering in 7 minutes. Should I post it on Twitter? Yeah, post on Twitter. I will be live on Thursday with Hardcore, not tomorrow. That's my day off. If you want to tune in for a Hardcore stream in which I'll just chat more about stuff, feel free to come along. Thank you very much, Create Beauty, for the 3 months again. There we go, 7 minutes. Thank you to Apo for making this possible. Big Pogs, thank you, Apo. If you haven't joined the Discord, we're going to hang out there sometimes. People hang out there already. I'm back for the end, just in time. Maybe then we have to see you. Make me sad. We've still got, we're not saying goodbye just yet, chat. We've got another like 6 minutes. There's still time. There's still time. I'm going to give you the link just in case you missed it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's sad to see rats go, but I'm very excited to see what comes next. My dog is thirsty boy. Thirsty boy. Yeah, we are raiding offline. We're going to raid into Soup for Eloise, a good friend of mine. Give her a follow while you're there. Double check she's not live. No stream tomorrow. No stream tomorrow. I'm more excited for what's next. Dang it. If you haven't gone to ratssmp.com, there's some fresh merch there. Tasty merch. Okay, what's our timer looking like? 5 minutes? You guys can wait in there for 5 minutes. I'm sure you'll be fine. Soup for Eloise. If you want to join in this raid, you get 250 free channel points. And that's good for you. And you can also follow my friend Soup for Eloise while you're there. If she has shout to chat on, you should use it because she might hear it. Someone in my chat the other day used shout to chat in the middle of the day while I was recording a video on OBS. And it was, no, not 253, 250 free channel points. Channel points are good. Channel points are tasty. Good for you. Really? Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all in 2 days. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you, bye.